Plus, we're opening up with in 2 months or 3 months, 130 warehouses ng NFA. Meron na rin, and all fish ports sa Pilipinas na owned by Philippine Fisheries Development Authority. Sa mga minimum wage earners naman, ang target namin ng DOLE is by end of this year, we have about 650,000 workers na mabibigyan nito. Then by tomorrow, ang launching natin sa TODA, mga jeepney drivers and tricycle drivers. So tuloy-tuloy ang implementation nito. Hopefully by the end of this year, we'll be in all provinces na and almost all municipalities. Para sa 2026 na grand launch natin na nakaset up na lahat. So, every day, mas rumarami nakikinabang. That's what magandang balita ko. So, Chair.
So, Mr. Chair, I'd like to reiterate for the record, hopefully by the end of the year, lahat ng mga probinsya merong ganito. No, and importante po ito dahil sa pag-iikot ko in the last campaign, this was an issue very close to the hearts of our kababayans. Kaya importante na, for the record, the Secretary was able to inform all of us of the progress of the Benting Bigas program. Ayun po. Mr. Secretary?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Well, ang target namin is dapat by end of October, lahat ng probinsya meron na. Kaya lang, yung expansion within yung sa loob ng probinsya, yun yung may major challenge sa ngayon. But by end of October, lahat ng probinsya meron na. Ang masusunod, para malaman nyo lang, is Ilocos Sur. Siya na lang ang kulang sa norte. Then, titira tayo ng Zamboanga Norte, Zamboanga Sur, Zamboanga City, Jensan, and Davao City, of course, Agusan, and marami pa. Actually, meron na tayo sa Basilan eh. Inuna namin yung Basilan. I don't know why, but nauna na sila. That's a poverty incident siguro. And of course, Tawi-Tawi is next in line. And tuloy-tuloy na ho, Mr. Chair.
Sa Pangasinan meron?
Yes, meron.
Ayun. Mr. Chair, there are two sides to the rice issue. One is the consumer side, the other is the supply side. No, on the supply side, I know that the Secretary implemented an import ban since September 1, and our farmers have greatly benefited from this. What are the updates regarding the import ban? How long will it last? And what have the side effects of this ban been?
Yung ating, the President issued the order na stop importation, stop of issuances of import permits from September 1 to October 31. So, technically, may papasok pa yung bigas na imported until September 15 in bulk. Kasi by containers, patingi-tingi, until maybe September 20. So, meron pa ngayon na pumapasok, pero pababa na ng pababa. So, nakikita ko dyan na by September 21 or 25, halos wala nang imported na pumapasok. So, ang nakikita naman natin na mag-i-issue ulit tayo ng import permit unless extended is by November 2. So, ang arrival naman ng November 2 issuances niyan is earliest baka November 10 to 15 ang arrival. So, yung magkakaroon ng totally walang imported na papasok by September 20 to November 15. Yun ang actual situation. Sa ngayon, maraming pang bigas sa merkado. There is no issue, no? Lalo na ngayon ang harvest season. Nag-succeed naman ng konti yung ating pag-stoppage ng import dahil dati may 8 to 10 pesos per kilo ang palay. Meron na maabot for 13, 14, pero meron pa rin 12, 11. But in general, at least na-address yung super baba na presyo. Although yung presyo ngayon, hindi pa rin enough eh. So really, for a long-term solution, we need the help of the Senate and the Congress, of course, do sa ating amendments or pag-repeal man, kung ano man madesisyonan do sa RTL, Mr. Chair.
And how ready are we for those amendments should they take place po?
Pag sakaling maamendahan yung RTL at mabigyan ng powers yung NFA, we are not 100% ready kasi kulang kami sa manpower. But I think as long as they give us the power to quantitatively restrict yung quantities per month na darating, ay halos 95% of the problem is solved, Mr. Chair.
Kumusta naman po yung mga ibang commodities po natin, hindi lang bigas? Are we supporting them for export? What's the current status po?
Well, we have a new, since I came into the DA, Mr. Chair, meron tayong bagong export office sa Department of Agriculture na dati wala yun. And we created commodities board. So lahat ngayon ng major commodities natin, from coffee, pati rambutan, mango, may board na sila, private sector and the DA. So tuloy-tuloy naman yung ating coordination to get things in order. Like yung okra natin, ang naging problema natin sa okra is yung export market natin sa Japan, Korea. Ay kulang pala tayo ng testing equipment for nitrate. So binili na namin yon. So that will hopefully increase yung ating exports ng okra. Yung sa mangga naman, we were able to increase yung market niya. We have now, we're happy to say that the Philippines is now selling its mangoes to Italy. No, sa Italian retail market, meron na. Of course, durian, na-open natin ang Middle East sa durian and other countries, even as far as New Zealand yata, and many more. No? Ang problema natin talaga yung banana. Dahil yung bananas natin, yung taripa niya sa Japan ay hindi pa bumababa. At parang nahihirapan kami makonvince yung Japanese government na pababain compared to yung mga competitors natin like Vietnam, Thailand, and Mexico. Medyo mas pababa na yung tarifa nila eh. But there's a mechanism naman proposed by Japan as yung CPTPP na inaasikaso na namin with the DTI. Actually, DTI play yan. But it will take time. Pero nakatutok ho tayo dyan. Ang pineapple natin is healthy. Ang malaking future in dragon fruit and cacao, of course, and among others. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, as a disaster risk advocate, ang pinakakawawa sa ating mga kababayan pag may dumadaan na mga bagyo ay ang mga farmers and fisher folk po. Take for instance, Pangasinan. Maraming mga farmers na na-wipe out ang kanilang ani. And of course, may mga fisher folk, may community na sinusuportahan ko sa Orbis Tondo. Yung mga bangka nila, lahat nawasak. Kaya, Mr. Chair, I'd like to know, what programs does the DA have to help these farmers and fisher folk get back on their feet? Kasi there's this one video po na nag-viral. Yakap-yakap ng isang farmer ang kanyang alagang kalabaw. Patay. Hindi lang yan. Pag nakita mo yung buong farm niya, baha, lahat ng kanyang livestock, patay. Paano babangon siya kung wala ang tulong ng DA? Kaya gusto ko malaman para sa mga kababayan natin, ano po ang mga disaster relief operations na ginagawa ng DA para sa mga farmers and fisher folk po natin?
One issue sa QRF nga natin, which Congressman Swansing actually pointed out kanina, yung utilization namin ng QRF namin medyo mababa. We will need to improve on that. So yung in term na quick response fund ay magamit niya as quickly as possible. So I will be meeting with my team regarding that para nga ma-utilize yung remaining 500 million. Ano? Of course, we have crop insurance na I mentioned kanina that we are expanding to include not only rice, pati yung other leafy vegetables, pati livestock. Sa programa na natin na ma-insure natin yung livestock natin, including fisheries. No, yung mga magtitilapia, kasi yung insurance tingin kong long-term solution dyan na they are insured for a minimum nominal contribution. But other than that, sa BFAR, we are giving out fishing gear and bangkas to yung mga tinamaan ng area. Sa farmers naman, we give seeds and fertilizers sa mga tinamaan na areas. And meron tayo ACPC, yung Agricultural Credit, Sure Credit pala. So survival and recovery something na credit. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat po. I want to ask also for our Mindoreños naman na mostly agriculture naman ang kanilang production. In terms of irrigation, milling facilities, storage facilities, and drying facilities, meron ba tayong mga bagong projects from the DA that Mindoreños can expect po?
Sa Mindoro, Mr. Chair, definitely marami-rami kami. We have bridges to Connect Farm to Market. May cold storage na binibid out ngayon na malaki, no? 5,000 pallet position yun. And next year, meron naman cold storage. Yung isa ngayon sa San Jose. Yung next year sa Sablayan. Although meron din modulars na pinadadala. May rice processing systems na pinapagawa doon. And meron tayong port project sa Abra de Ilog yata yung something north sa Deepwater Port para sa agricultural goods sa Mindoro na we're just waiting for funding from ODA, ODA funds, among others. Pag na-aprobahan din yung livestock bill natin, that will release a budget of 20 billion pesos to the livestock industry. Yung repopulation ng Mindoro din is one of the focuses, among others, kasi I really believe Mindoro is one of the pwedeng gawing food basket ng Luzon no? And Visayas kasi ang lapit and maraming tubig at of course nandiyan din yung revitalization ng asin natin ng asin industry. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, the reason why I brought up Mindoro, especially for irrigation, is maraming projects sa Mindoro, pero konti lang yung mga irrigation projects na meron sa ngayon. Sana pwede natin dagdagan yung irrigation projects in Mindoro so it can become that food basket for the country. Another question is regarding Batangas naman po. Sa Batangas Lake, I just want to ask about the sustainability of our fishing in the Batangas Lake. Also, I heard rumors that medyo naapektuhan ang benta ng mga isda galing sa Batangas dahil sa missing sabungero issue. Totoo po ba yan?
Mr. Chair, nung una talagang ayaw bumagsak ang presyo ng tilapia dahil ayaw bilhin ng consumer. But now, okay na, back to normal. Yung sa condition naman ng I think nandun na sa maximum sustainable na kaya nung lake yung number of fish cages doon. So sana hindi na rumami yun. Ganun lang, okay na. Then as we all know, it's volcanic. Matakas ang sulfur content dyan So sa lake na yan. But well, it's producing. So we have to really take care of it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, before I end, I just want to highlight and end on a high note. The Department of Agriculture has an agri-training program known as Bindi ng Pag-asa, which trains agripreneurs across the Philippines. This program graduated around 15,000 students, and of the 15,000 students, 80% of them go on to continue being agripreneurs. This is an amazing statistic. If we're going to address the shortage of farmers in the country, we need to inspire the young generation, the next generation, to continue this agricultural practice with best practices and proper funding. Kaya, Mr. Chair, sana may mahanap tayong pondo para dagdagan dito at para sa mga ibang programs tulad ng irrigation na nabanggit kanina and yung quick reaction fund ng DA to support our farmers and fisherfolk this generation until the next. With that being said, I want to manifest my support for the fund of the Department of Agriculture kasi ito po ay isa sa pinakamalapit sa bituka ng mga kababayan natin. Pag maganda ang performance ng DA, ramdam na ramdam yan ng mga kababayan natin. Maraming salamat po, Secretary and Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Representative Pope. Sorry. From the minority, we recognize Deputy Minority Leader, right, Reynaldo Tan. Reynaldo Tan. Wala? Okay. So we move on to the next Assistant Minority Leader Audrey Zubiri.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your time. Thank you for acknowledging me. I would like to say good afternoon to all of our esteemed colleagues, and most especially to our representatives from the Department of Agriculture, most especially, of course, to our DA Chief, none other than Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today.